Live from the Del Mar Arena, these are the Ron Newman Cup Championships. Tonight, the San Diego Sockers' quest for a third consecutive championship and a perfect, undefeated season reaches its final destination within the Professional Arena Soccer League. The Ron Newman Cup will be awarded tonight either to the Western or Eastern Division champion of the PASL. Will it be Detroit Waza Flow Pro, the FC team from Detroit, Michigan, hoisting their first ever league championship? Or will the San Diego Sockers win their 36th consecutive game and claim their third straight championship? It's the Sockers and Detroit Waza tonight on ESPN Radio 1700 and 619sports.net. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Del Mar Arena. At midfield, I'm the voice of the Sockers, Craig Elston. Adrina Badal is our statistician alongside. Our cameraman today, Brian Helming, our video coordinator on ESPN Radio 1700 and 619sports.net is Dave Evenson. The San Diego Sockers last night outlasted the Kansas Magic by a final score of 9-6, a game which saw San Diego jump ahead 5-0 and 7-2, and then hang on for dear life over the course of the fourth quarter when Kansas scored 4 straight goals and threatened a number of times to try and tie the game. Goalkeeper Riley Swift came up with arguably his top performance of the season. He stopped 20 shots, including a couple of point-blank chances within the last 5 minutes that could have tied the game for the Kansas Magic. Meanwhile, Detroit Waza Flow, they were victorious over Revolucion Tijuana, the second-place team out of the PASL Western Division. A 9-7 result that took place yesterday afternoon prior to the Sockers and the Kansas Magic. An outstanding technical team, Detroit Waza. They are at 15-3 on the season. They are led by a pair of all PASL first-team players, Mickey Daracello and Costa Deku. They're voluble, exciting, demonstrative, and charismatic leader, Dominic Cicluna, who suffered an ankle injury yesterday, but he will start. If he was alive, he was going to be in the lineup today. Cicluna will lead the Detroit Waza to a place where they have never been before, the PASL championship game. The Ron Newman Cup will be awarded for the first time tonight. This is the 4th year of the PASL's existence, but this season on January 7th, right here on this field, and in a ceremony we brought you on ESPN Radio 1700 and 619sports.net live, Ron Newman, the 78-year-old venerable indoor master who led this Sockers franchise to 10 championships in 11 years, was given the ultimate honor of having a league name their championship trophy after him. So today, they play for the Ron Newman Cup. It's Detroit and the San Diego Sockers tonight here on ESPN Radio 1700 and 619sports.net. Last night's game saw a fracas in the final 22 seconds between the Sockers and Magic. It came when Kansas Magic goalie Jason Jacob, leaving the field ostensibly to facilitate a 6th attacker exchange, wound up plowing into the back of Sockers defender Zé Roberto. That led to a dust-up between the two teams. And the official ruling of PASL Commissioner Kevin Milliken is that Miguel Adarado, who is a third man in for the Sockers off the bench, will be suspended. And Adarado is out of the lineup for tonight's game. We will have more on the lineup change and who will take Adarado's place when we are joined by our Between the Boxes reporter, Jordan Caruth. And that'll be coming up shortly right here on ESPN Radio 1700 and 619sports.net. Last night, as mentioned, the Sockers out to a new lead. It was 7-6 with just 20 seconds left. Then a shootout goal by Craig Childs, Brian Farber, an empty netter, and that allowed the Sockers to extend to a 9-6 final score. Farber and Childs wound up with a pair of goals last night. Antina, Aaron Susi, Diego Rovira, Cheeky Luna, and Nate Hetherington also scoring for the Sockers last night. The Sockers are about to be introduced to the crowd here. And Nick Pellegrino, who is in for Joe Totino tonight as Joe is announcing a Sockers game, or a LA Galaxy game, pardon me, up in LA. The Sockers 12 banners were just displayed on the northern end of the Del Mar Arena, and Nick went right through them and said the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way through to the 12-time indoor champions, and they're hoping next year. That's what's at stake today. They are announcing the starting lineups for the San Diego Sockers, and the starting 14, and Riley Swift will be back in goal for the Sockers. Let's just listen in right now to some of the starting lineups being announced.
Number 9, Chiquita. Number 11, Diego Rivera. Number 16, Eduardo Gomez. Number 18, Sally Martin. Number 19, Dan Antonia. Number 43, Eric Wonderly. Your two-time PSL MVP, number 27, Craig Childs. Number 40, Antonio Sutton. And number 77, Brian Farmer. And your coaching staff and two-time coaches of the year, head coach Phil Zolfagio and his assistant Ray Alma.
The Sockers have been introduced to the expansive crowd here at the Del Mar Arena. I'll tell you, it looks like it will be indeed the biggest crowd of the year. The arena room is packed, the grandstands are packed, and every box around the Del Mar Arena is filled to the gills. It's the Eastern Division champions, Detroit Waza. It's the Western Division champions, the San Diego Sockers. Tonight, the Sockers stand on the precipice of the pinnacle of professional sports, an undefeated season capped by a championship. They are one step away. Can the Sockers take the final step and hoist the Ron Newman Cup? We'll take our pregame timeout. When we come back, starting lineups in the opening kickoff on ESPN Radio 1700.
Have you ever considered all that is needed to organize federal elections? Booths, manuals, exercise notebooks, urns, clothes, electoral ballots, braille templates, credential markers, pencils, facilitating officers, booth officials, electoral observers, local and district councils, and applicators.
Not thousands, but millions of miscellaneous materials and personnel. And all of this is so that more than 77 million Mexican citizens can vote. What makes a country great is the participation of its people. IFE.
Good morning. Welcome to McDonald's.
First good thing I've heard all day.
But it's only 7:30 a.m.
I know, and I already whacked my head, broke my phone, and got a parking ticket. So I'm going to need to order quite a few things.
That should make you feel better, sir.
Right, how about an order of sausage? Oh, and an order of bacon, scrambled eggs, 3 hot cakes, well, hash browns for sure.
Sir?
Oh, I'm not done.
But all of that is on the deluxe breakfast platter, and it's now just $3.99.
Seriously?
Set your mornings right with McDonald's Deluxe Breakfast Platter. 3 golden hotcakes, fluffy scrambled eggs, sizzling bacon, sausage, an English muffin, and more. All for just $3.99. The simple joy of every flavor of breakfast.
Sorry you woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Technically, I fell out of bed and the window.
Breakfast served during breakfast hours only. Price and participation may vary.
McDonald's $1.49 Filet-O-Fish Fridays are back. Filet-O-Fish sandwich with tartar sauce, American cheese, and crispy fish fillet is just $1.49 every Friday for a limited time at participating McDonald's.
Who organizes the elections in Baja California?
Who promotes civic education and citizen
All right,
participation?
we're through the anthem.
All right, 20 seconds.
Culture. The responsible party
We're
for
in
these
break,
actions
and then I'll
is the
come to
Baja
you.
California Institute of Electoral and Citizen Participation. Get to know their activities by going to their webpage, iepcbc.org.mx.
With legality and transparency in the Baja California Institute of Electoral and Citizen Participation, the democracy is strengthened.
The San Diego Sockers on ESPN Radio 1700 are brought to you by Felipe's Pizza Grotto, Soccer Fanatic, the official online store of the San Diego Sockers, and by Bar West, Sundown, Music Up, Bar West.
Back at the Del Mar Arena, the anthem is through. The lineups have been introduced. We are just moments away from kickoff in the Ron Newman Cup Championship Final, Detroit versus San Diego. I'm Craig Elston. Let's go between the boxes now, find out more about the Sockers lineup shifts and a little bit more about Detroit, and welcome in Jordan Caruth.
Craig, Detroit's starting goalie is out tonight. Vito Lonegro, a first-team all-league keeper, will not be playing. In replace for Vito, Daryl Quinn, he's going to start in his place. Something to watch there on the goalie end for Detroit. Also watch for fatigue later on in this game as Detroit coming in much older of the teams between them and the Sockers. Last night, Commissioner Kevin Milliken suspended Miguel Adorado for tonight's game because of an altercation in last night's semifinals. Dan Antoniuk will start in his place. It is his first game since January 13th when the Sockers played at Tacoma. He's been able to practice, though, lately and continue his training, so he will be fit for tonight's game.
Thank you very much, and we'll be hearing from Jordan between the boxes throughout tonight's game, and hopefully post-game on the field with a celebration. It's time for the game. They're tacking down the nets on the northern goal. The Sockers will defend the northern goal to my left and attack left to right, north to south, as we bring you the action live here on ESPN Radio 1700 and 619sports.net. Starting on the field for the Sockers, the captain, Aaron Susie, also wearing the captain's armband tonight, Nate Hetherington, Zé Roberto and Scotty Martin on the back line, and Cheeky Luna in the midfield, Riley Swift in goal. For Detroit, Waza in their all-black road kits, black shirts, black shorts, and socks. Dominic Cicluna, as the whistle sounds, he pushes the opening kickoff forward. 15 minutes are on the clock, and we're underway. Sockers and Detroit Waza, it's the Ron Newman Cup Championship, and it's live exclusively on ESPN Radio 1700 and online, video and audio streaming on 619sports.net. Could have been a slide tackle at midfield. Stark of Detroit, Tommy Stark wins the ball at center circle, and then in the Sockers' defensive midfield, it's Zé Roberto, the all-PASL defender, who wins it back for the Sockers. Cheeky Luna coming forward across the midfield stripe in the game's opening minute. Sockers in their home, all whites, white shirts and shorts, and the gold socks that are the Sockers' trademark. San Diego has won 35 consecutive matches dating back to December 27th, 2010, their last loss, which was on the road at Stockton. San Diego has never lost at the Del Mar Arena. They're 34-0 all time. Riley Swift, a long ball to Aaron Susie, knocked down by Warte Sampson. The large forward of the Detroit Waza plays the ball off the sidewall to Ryan Mack. Mack into the attacking zone. Wall ball looking back for Sampson. Anthony Medina runs it down to Mack. His shot was wide to the right. Mack spun down in the offensive zone, and a foul is called on San Diego defender Antonio Sutton, which will lead to a free kick for Waza deep into the far corner attacking zone. Costa Deku, the 37-year-old defender, 27 goals, 20 assists. He was first-team All-PASL. Deku will take the free kick from in deep on right wing. He's got Sampson in the crease. He plays it right in for a goal. Costa Deku, a free kick goal for Detroit. Deku has the goal, and Waza has scored early in this game. Deku sliding in a low ball into the far post at 13:49 of the first quarter. It's Waza 1 and Detroit nothing, and San Diego nothing. For Deku, the unassisted goal, and I believe he had one yesterday. He had a pair, so that's his third goal of the playoffs, unassisted on a free kick. And just like that, Detroit is on top. Off the restart, Diego Rivera is out there with Eddie Velez, Anthony Medina, and there's Dan Antoniuk. The Philly native is out there in his first game, first shift, first touch since January 13th up at Tacoma Stars. We have a whistle in front of the Waza bench. A foul is called on Detroit. Eddie Velez taken down right there. Now it's down into the near corner. Medina down by the goal wall, trying to spin into his left foot. It was taken away from him by Aaron Bird. And Bird coming up the near wall for Detroit on the run. Bird plays it to the right wing. He's got Michael Gerba. Gerba's wall ball. It caromed up off the glass and out of play. And it'll be a goal throw for San Diego. 13:01, and the clock stopped in the first quarter. And the Waza have an early lead of 1-0 on Costa Deku's free kick. Now we take it back. They'll say it was a deflection by San Diego, and it'll be a corner kick for the Waza. It's Cicluna, Dominic Cicluna, out to Ryan Mack. He shoots and scores! Waza is ahead 2-0 on a pair of set-piece goals. This time it's Cicluna fighting Ryan Mack. And Mack has put it into the back of the net to put Detroit ahead 2-0. And now Sockers head coach Phil Salvaggio will call timeout. Waza is off to a 2-0 lead over the Sockers. Let's take time out on ESPN Radio 1700.
I'll give you a pound of beans and some money, but lend me your voter's ID and I will give it back to you after the election.
Using someone else's voter's ID at any time is a crime.
Report. Every employee in this office knows who to vote for, right? And if we don't win, I'll dismiss you.
An employer makes his staff members vote for a specific party or candidate, it's a crime. Call 01-800-833-7233 or 5346-3103 or write to Fiska Linlitty at pgr.gov.mx.
See, all of democracy is more than just a vote in the elections. It is to participate in the public matters of your city, of your state, and of your country.
Inform yourself, you and ask. It's your right because you choose your governors.
The decision is in your hands.
Electoral Justice Court and Judiciary State Power.
Back. No rejoin, please. Just bring me straight back.
Okay, good.
Welcome back to the Del Mar Arena. 12:42 to play in the first quarter, and the Sockers have conceded the game's first 2 goals to trail 2-0. The Waza have the ball and cross to first team All-PASL defender Mickey Daracello. Daracello back to Stark, forward looking for Warte Sampson, the physical forward who scored a pair of goals for Waza last night. He stands at 6'1", but about 225 pounds. Sampson has it taken away from him at the top of the crease by Zeriberto. And now Aaron Susi comes out for San Diego. Diagonal San Diego zone in the near corner, deflected over the glass. And let's see, last touch by whom? Stark or Wonderly. I believe on a deflection, it'll be San Diego ball coming off the near wall, mid-boards, just inside the yellow line. So a pair of set-piece goals, Costa Denku and Ryan Mack for Detroit. And Waza off to a 2-0 lead on the Sockers' home field. Cheeky Luna and Diego Rivera standing over the ball. Rivera runs into the corner. Luna will take the kick. He fires it in. Look for the far post, and it went past Aaron Susi and rolls all the way out to the far wall outside the yellow line where Eduardo Velez wins it for San Diego. Carroll, the Revolucion Tijuana star last year, who's in his first season with the Sockers, at 14 goals, 10 assists in the regular season. It's back to Riley Swift now. He rolls the ball along the far wall all the way into the attacking zone to the captain, Aaron Susi. Out to defender Antonio Sutton at center circle. He finds Velez on the far wall. Creeping in outside the yellow line. Velez back to Sutton. Standing at the edge of center circle. Tips it down now into the near corner. Velez runs down there on a diagonal pattern. He's got it. Man-to-man defense. He's elbowed down there. Ryan Mack. And let's see. Fernando Pena is the official right there. He'll just call a team foul on Detroit. But that will set up ostensibly a corner kick from the near corner for the San Diego Sockers. Susi and Luna out there with Velez, Craig Childs, and Diego Rivera on this free kick coming from just inside where the corner kick dot would be from the near corner. It's Luna with Susi behind him on the mid-boards. Now Cheeky exchanges with Aaron, and Susi looks and rolls it out to Cheeky. He tries to cross. He rolled it through the middle of the crease. Nobody was there. There was a Socker high and low. And the ball is taken away by Waza. And then Scotty Wright just gave it away in front of the Sockers bench. And Cheeky Luna able to run it down. And now San Diego will line change as the ball goes back to the keeper, Riley Swift. Under 11 and a half to play in the first quarter. Clock running. San Diego down 2-0. Velez feeds Childs outside the crease on the right wing. He's hit hard as he goes into the ball into the wall, looking for a blue card or a whistle, which did not happen. The official said play on. And here's another one into the crease, and jumping up over Childs is the goalkeeper Daryl Quinn to grab it with 2 hands, and he'll roll it out to the far wall to Mickey Daracello. Down to the 11-minute mark of the first quarter. Detroit Waza leading 2-0. A Let's Go Sockers chant begins here from a nervous crowd at the Del Mar Arena. Early action has seen Detroit put in a pair of set pieces. Here's a ball that was battled for between Hetherington and Cicluna, 2 aged veterans, 38 and 40 plus. Cicluna's true age a mystery. The ball came off the wall harmlessly, and Riley Swift was able to collect for San Diego. Riley rolls it along the bench wall. Down on the midboards, it's Aaron Susie. He gets double-teamed. Aaron Bird takes the ball away from Susie. The black-clad defender, he tucked a little fake pass and then rolled along the bench wall, and then it was taken away by Dan Antonia. Antonia comes back the other way. He loses it to Sampson at midfield. Back to Daracello, and now to Tommy Stark. And Waza surveys. Ryan Mack spun around as the Sockers look, and yes, an illegal change has just been called on Detroit Waza. They had too many men on the field, and that's going to be a blue card penalty on Detroit. A sloppy change on Waza. Whoopsie. Let's hear more from Jordan.
It was a very mild-mannered Coach Salvaggio during that last timeout. Players don't seem to be pressing at all right now, even with the 2-0 deficit that they're presented right now, taking on the personality of their head coach.
Thank you, Jordan. It'll be a Sockers power play now, the first power play of the game. It starts at 10:17 of the first quarter. This will tick down either to 8:17 or to a Sockers goal, which would cut the Detroit lead to 2-1. Out on the field for San Diego, Cheeky Luna with Aaron Susie, Eddie Velez, Craig Childs, and Brian Farber. The power play begins. It's Aaron Susie captaining the unit. Down to Velez on the left wing midboards. He tips it back to Susie straight away. Aaron, left-footed shot, a save by Quinn. Rebound, Childs heads it to the top of the crease, and it's back down to Cheeky Luna. 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. Sockers power play with a 2-0 deficit. It's Luna creeping in on the right wing midboards. He rolls it back out to Susie. One-touch pass to Velez and back to Aaron. Aaron fakes a shot, passes to Eddie. Eddie's pass was deflected by Ryan Wilkes. Comes out to Cheeky Luna. Back to Susie. Susie settles straight away. Flicks. Childs. Header tried to feed Farber, and it came off of the thigh, the quad of Farber. He couldn't get a shot away. It was a great try by Childs and Farber, who have combined on a header goal in the past a couple of times this year. Minute 10 remaining in the man advantage for San Diego. Luna to Childs, right wing midboards. Touches it right back to Cheeky. Outside the yellow line to Aaron Susie on left wing. Susie down to Eddie on the left wing midboards. Velez tips it back to Aaron. He flicks one to the back post, looking for Childs. Childs' one-touch shot was kicked out and over by Ryan Wilkes. And they'll say deflected on a shot, so it'll be a corner kick for San Diego for the near corner. Halfway through the power play. 9:16 to go in the first. Sockers trailing 2-0. Luna from the near corner. He rolls it back to Childs. Childs out to Susie. They regather. Susie faked a shot. He rolled it to Cheeky. Cheeky down low Childs. Childs, ball fake. Cheeky back out. Aaron straight away. Susie just inside the yellow line. Tried to feed it back down to Childs. It was deflected, kicked out and over the wall. And the Sockers will restart from the far wall. 47 seconds on the man advantage. It's Velez rolling it out to Luna. Luna on right wing. Cheeky back to Aaron across the yellow line. Susie faked down low. Velez shoots. Save Quinn. Rebound, and it's kicked out by Wright. Out to Susie. He's able to hold the shape for San Diego. To Luna. He puts a bender into the crease. It was kicked out by Tino Cicluna. 30 seconds left in the power play, and it's back to the goalkeeper, Riley Swift, in defensive midfield for San Diego. Sockers trailing 2-0. They're on their first power play of the night for a sloppy line change by Detroit. It's Childs to Cheeky to Susie. Susie fakes right and left. Fakes again, rolls it back on left point to Luna. 15 seconds in the power play. Eddie's calling for it down low. Another flick. It's Childs. He heads it on goal, and a kick save by Quinn. Quinn kick saves it into the near corner. 5 seconds left in the power play. Susie has it on his left foot in offensive midfield. He'll try for Childs again. It comes off the corner. The power play is over. Waza has killed it. Childs tries to fight through two players, and he goes back out to Susie. And now a whistle. A foul with a Socker down. Luna is down on the field. And I believe a team foul was just called on Detroit. Cheeky is still down on his seat. No blue card was pulled. And the Sockers come up empty on their first power play try tonight. On the season, power play kill has not been a strength of Detroit. They had conceded 21 goals and 51 tries in the regular season, only killing 58.8%. The Sockers, by contrast, 35% conversion, 21 of 60. Free kick from inside. It's Rivera. He tipped it into the crease, and Childs put it up high in the air, but in the wrong direction. The ball comes out to the far wall where Eric Wunderly steps in. Wunderly with some of his first action. Poway USD D grad fighting with Tino Cicluna in the corner. Both players go down. Whistle sounds. Foul on Wunderly. And then Cicluna pushes Wunderly as he comes off of the field and gets a warning from the Seattle official. 7:58 to play in the first. Detroit leading 2-0. Costa de Cu. The long sky ball out of the back of his zone to Warte Sampson. Sampson marked by Antoniuk. No surprise that the Sockers go with that matchup. Dan wins it forward to Diego Rivera. Rivera to Craig Childs. Rolls it to the near wall. And Zay Roberto intercepted a pass intended for Wonderly. Then feeds Eric. Eric trying to step into the left foot. He lost it to Ryan Mack. And Detroit able to come out with it. Here comes Warte Sampson on the run. He curves the ball to Ryan Mack on the far wall. Ryan's tracking it down. Antoniuk walls him off there in the Sockers' defensive zone, and Dan wins it back to Riley Swift. Dan's such a powerful defensive presence. He's been missed in the Sockers' zone for the last 2 months after a groin strain kept him out for most of the second half of the season. Long shot and on goal, a save by Swift, denying Costa Deku, who sprung on a loose ball coming in off right wing. 7:13 to go, clock running in the first. Still 2-0 Detroit leads. The Sockers watching Quinn roll the ball up the middle of the field for Aaron Bird. Bird controls Mickey Daracello, deftly back to Deku. He lofts one now, and he lofted it over the wall. He was aiming for the high glass, and it went over the low part of the wall. It'll be a free kick for San Diego out of their defensive zone. 6:58. It's back to Martin. Scotty Martin. Out of Uni High. Oh, a slow roller. Swift had to come up with pressure, and that pass then wound up being intercepted at midfield by Detroit. They run it in front of the Sockers' bench wall. It's Michael Gerba. Gerba kicks it back out to Ryan Mack, and the Waza possessing. Tino Cicluna off the far wall to Victor Otieno, who is starting tonight. Did not start last night. Otieno on the far wall. Rolls it back to Zach Wilkes. And Wilkes steps on at defensive midfield as the clock rolls under 6.5 minutes. It's Cicluna in midfield. He's bracketed by Martin and Roberto, but Waza able to maintain possession. It's Wilkes from his yellow line all the way forward. Mack tried to put a one-touch on goal. He could not get the shot away. He went into the goal wall. Nate Hetherington was right behind him. There was no foul called. Definitely Aaron Susi tips one off the side wall to Medina. He connects a pass to Eddie Velez across right point. Here's Eddie trying to teep through a man. Taken away from him by Aaron Bird. Bird on the run, a counterattack. Here they come 2-on-1. It's Mickey Daracello. Daracello back to Bird, and Eddie Velez cut off the path on that crossing pass and denied a shot on goal. Then Eddie wins one back. Punts the ball up the middle of the field. Warte Sampson had it tipped away from him by Cheeky Luna, and it goes over the far wall on the hop to Detroit. Clock stops at 5:46 in the first quarter. Looks like the officials aren't going to use their officials' timeout here in the first, as the Sockers called a team timeout. That is their choice. Mickey Daracello, wearing the captain's armband for Detroit, tips it to Stark and gets it back on the far wall and rolls it back to the midfield stripe. 5:40 in the first. Waza scoring early twice for a 2-0 lead. Here's a ball that went off the top of the wall but stayed in. It came to Warte Sampson on right wing. Guarded by Sutton. Sampson just kicks it over the glass. A miss kick. 5:31, and Riley Swift will throw one out of his goal. Swift to Sutton on the far wall. Antonio to Brian Farber. Brian muscled by Stark. Stark fouls him. I believe that's 4 fouls on Detroit. 5 on Detroit, 5 fouls on Waza. Next foul, a Sockers power play. Farber to Sutton off the restart. And Antonio walks it back and then kicks it forward. Childs tried to head it. He got elbowed from behind by Deku. Craig is wondering where's the foul call there. Childs is barking at the officials, and he's not going to get a call. And the ball, they'll say, last touch by. So this will be a Sockers free kick from the wing. And now, let's see here. Okay, the officials are just positioning Detroit properly for the free kick. It's Susi from the far wall, the left-footed captain. His shot was blocked by Cicluna. The carom comes outside the yellow line. Velez flicks off the glass to Susi in the far corner. Aaron steps in the ball left foot, fakes. He's battling with Cicluna. Otieno comes in, and Susi trips him, and a foul is called on San Diego. Third team foul on the Sockers. 5:02 to go in the first. Detroit with the early 2-0 lead, stunning the crowd. Crowd a little bit out of it here at the Del Mar Arena. These fans have come to cheer on a perfect season in the championship, but right now it's Detroit that has the 2-0 lead. Here's a ball loose into the corner. Riley Swift comes out for San Diego. He punts the ball high in the air. Nobody there but black shirts for Detroit. And it's Costa Deku who tips it down at his yellow line. San Diego is in the midst of a... Sockers are kind of dropping back a little bit into a defensive shell. That's unusual. Now Diego Rivera wins one at his yellow line. At midfield, Childs tips it far wall. Antoniuk wins one through. Here comes Dan into the corner. He shot it wide to the right. Dizzy Dan trying to get his first goal in a long time, since January 7th. Now Wonderly to Childs on the right team. He fires a pass out that hits Velez in the chest, and Eddie knocks it down. Eddie challenged by Dominic Cicluna, who came up and forced him to play the ball back to Diego Rivera. 4:08 to go in the first. Sockers down 2-0. It's Velez inside the yellow line to Deku. He just gave it away to Costa Deku, the all-PASL defender. Costa gently spun by Greg Childs as he plays it to the far wall and comes off. Now look out. Here's a ball in the middle of the crease. Sampson thought he was interfered with. Huarte Sampson is absolutely furious with official Fernando Pena, who believes that he was interfered with and held inside the crease. That could have been as much as a penalty shot if it was true. Nothing happened, and the ball just went to Swift. Now it's to Sampson. Has it taken away by Hetherington, gets the ball back. Sampson with such great strength, but then Martin tips the ball from between his legs. And Daracello now battling with Nate for possession. Number 7 versus number 7. And Daracello won it. To Wilkes, forward, his pass intended for Sampson, taken away by Scotty Martin, who stepped up at the top of the crease for San Diego, fires it off the far wall to Craig Childs. 3:20 to go in the first. San Diego's going to line change here, trailing 2-0. Childs off, Susie on. Aaron calling for the ball along the near wall. Scotty Martin will instead play it off the far wall. He's looking for Eric Wonderly. Wonderly steps on it with the left foot. He turns to the middle of the field. Wonderly's got a step. Eric had it taken away by Ryan Mack, who fires it on the far wall, and he's got Victor Otieno on the run. Otieno shoots and wide to the right. Riley missed that ball, and to his credit, or thankfully for him, it missed the goal. Now San Roberto, under 3 to play in the first. Sockers down 2-0. Roberto feeds Anthony Medina. Anthony comes in off the corner. He shoots, he scores! Anthony Medina from San Roberto! The Sockers are on the board, trailing 2-1. M5's got the goal! Medina's second of the playoffs from San Roberto at 2:41. And the Sockers are on the board. A big goal for San Diego to restore their confidence and, more importantly, get their fans excited. Off the restart, Aaron Bird kicks it back to right. He almost lost it to midfield to Brian Farber. Farber does win the ball for San Diego. Brian Farber looks around and says, let's attack, boys. Back to San Roberto straight away. Zay down low. He's got Susie. Susie out of the far corner. Tips it back along the far wall to Chinky Luna. San Diego looked like they were going to create right off that whistle. Here's Antonio Sutton. Down low, he finds Susie. Aaron crosses, and it was far away from Farber. Brian was out in the middle of the crease. The ball came whistling along the goal wall, and Brian couldn't get a head or a foot on it. Roberto to Farber. Ryan turns to the right foot. Top of the crease. His shot was blocked by Aaron Bird. Aaron Bird with a shot block for Detroit. And Zé Roberto controls for San Diego in the offensive midfield. He finds Aaron Susie. Susie, double team comes in the far corner. Aaron chips through. He was looking for Cheeky Luna. And there was the keeper, Daryl Quinn, to read the pass and grab it off the goal wall for Detroit. Waza Flow FC out of the Iron City. Here is a man spun around. The Motor City, I should say, of course. It's Antonio Sutton, spun around in front of the Sockers bench. No foul call. Detroit wins possession. Mickey Daracello back to Tino Cicluna. He plays a high ball into the crease. Sampson, can he chest it down? He's got 2 men around him. Brian Farber tipped it out. That should be a defensive clear, or will they say deflected? I believe Fernando Pena is going to rule just a free kick for Detroit off the near wall, which to me is a break. They could have said Farber touched that out for a defensive clear. Regardless, look out. Waza has scored twice on 2 set pieces tonight. They're 2 for 2. It'll be Mickey Daracello, first team all-league defender, taking this free kick with 1:26 to play in the first. Off of the near wall, Daracello. Wall pass into the crease. And it was Wilkes who was down in a heap along with Eddie Velez. Nobody could get a foot on the ball. Now on the far wall, Brian Farber gets bracketed. Waza takes it away. It's Wilkes with Tino Cicluna right behind him. Cicluna gets double teamed, triple teamed. The Sockers are all in on this, trying to get the ball. Velez and Wilkes go down. The foul is on Zach Wilkes on the far wall, and that's 6 fouls on Detroit. That is the 6th foul on Detroit Waza. And as such, at 1:06 of the first quarter, the San Diego Sockers are about to go on their second power play of the game. Huarte Sampson is furious right now with the VAR official. Sampson is just sure that they missed a foul on him. And instead, Huarte is going to be the man who serves the 6th foul. penalty. I think that was a 50-50 call. They could have called Velez for pulling down Wilkes or Wilkes for pushing down Velez. Regardless, it's a Sockers power play coming up right now. It starts at 1:06 of the first quarter. This could wrap down into 54 seconds of the second quarter, or the Sockers could score to tie the game. Let's see if they can take advantage of that Waza penalty kill that has been very soft this year, one of the bottom third in the league. Childs to Luna. That pass was too hot for Aaron Susi. Dominic Cicluna just threw water toward the officials. As now Luna tried to bend a foul into the crease, and Tina Cicluna comes away with it. Then Eddie scooped it back. Wilkes to Bird. Tight passing by Detroit, but they're going to be able to escape their zone. Cicluna now walled off by Susi, and all the way back to Riley Swift. 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Sockers power play continuing here, trailing 2-1. Childs off the goal glass Susi looking for Childs, pardon me. And the hot pass come all the way out to midfield where Susi tracks it down. 20 seconds left in the quarter. It's Velez down into the far corner, just a ball into empty space. Wilkes is able to step on it, deflate time. Now Velez tries to kick it out, and Scotty Wright knocks it out for Detroit. With 5 seconds left in the quarter, the ball's rolled into the San Diego zone. So the first half of this power play is going to elapse. The quarter is over. San Diego will have 54 seconds remaining on the power play when we come back for second quarter action. Goals by Costa Deku and Ryan Mack for Waza. Anthony Medina answers for San Diego, and after 15 minutes complete, it's Detroit 2 and San Diego 1. This is the Ron Newman Cup Championship on ESPN Radio 1700 and 619sports.net.
If you could stand on the pitcher's mound on opening day with a microphone, what would you tell the more than 40,000 excited Padre fans about your business? A customized creative ad on San Diego's sports leader XX1090 and Padres game broadcast will give you that chance. Your message will be designed to help achieve your company's goals, and there's a package for any budget. Contact the XX1090 marketing specialist and grow sales, not with just an ad, but a customized marketing strategy. Call 858-535-2509.
In the next federal elections, all Mexican citizens are needed, and the Federal Electoral Institute knows that the participation of citizens organizations to promote the importance of voting is fundamental. To learn more, go to ife.org.mx. All interested parties have until April 15th to register. What makes a country great is the participation of its people. IFE.
The San Diego Sockers on ESPN Radio 1700 are brought to you by Bumblebee Tuna. Fuel your team with Bumblebee. The San Diego Surf Cup, presented by Nike. And by PCIC, the preferred choice for contractors insurance.
We're back at the Del Mar Arena. The second quarter is about to get underway, and the Sockers will have 54 seconds remaining in a man advantage when we do. Detroit stunning this giant crowd here, easily the biggest crowd of the year at the Del Mar Arena, with two early goals in the first 2 minutes. Costa Deku had a free kick goal at 13:49. Ryan Mack answered off a corner kick from Cicluna at 13:01. And it was 2-0 Detroit. Anthony Medina answered at the 2:41 mark from Zé Roberto to make it 2-1. Let's go down to Jordan Caruth now between the boxes.
Craig, a very heated first quarter has just been cooled off with a cup of water thrown over here at the referees from the bench of Detroit. My notes are a little wet at the moment, so excuse me if I stumble through this segment. But like I mentioned, a very heated first quarter. Referees talking right next to me right now, trying to get this game a little bit more under control than what we saw there in the first. And from things we've seen overlapping into that first quarter break, Detroit hasn't gotten much happier since the intermission. So I'm going to go find something to keep me protected from water cups.
Thank you very much, Jordan. It was Dominic Cicluna, the co-head coach and midfielder, who threw the water at the officials, angry at the tenor of the calls in the final 2 minutes. Cicluna is still talking at midfield with lead official Fernando Peña, second official Brad Wiggins, and Sockers midfielder Brian Farber. Wiggins out of Tacoma, Peña, Tijuana. And one of the things that you heard from PASL out-of-town haters about the Sockers is, oh, they always have Kia Depina officiating all of their big games. Well, Kia Depina has not officiated any of the Sockers games in this Ron Newman Cup Championship. The second Sockers have 50 seconds remaining of power play. They've switched sides. San Diego is defending the southern goal to my right, and they will attack right to left as we bring you the action live on ESPN Radio 1700 and 619sports.net. It's Susie to Velez. Back to Aaron straight away. Power play for San Diego, trailing 2-1. Cheeky Luna on right wing. Back to Susie. Aaron is looking around. He feeds it to the midboards to Velez. This is back to Cheeky. One touch down low. It's Childs. Back to Cheeky. Crosses quickly to Susie. Looking for Childs down low. The bending ball in the air. Headed down by Wilkes. And Wright is able to kick it down and clear for Detroit. That pass was telegraphed. Looking to feed Childs down low. And Wright was able to kick it out. 15 seconds. Time for one last chance. By Farber. Out to Velez. His hard shot was blocked by Tino Cicluna. It comes out controlled by Luna. Down to Childs, crosses for Eddie, comes off the glass. Eddie plays it to the right foot, touches out to Susie. He plays it back to Swift, and the penalty is over. Detroit, not a well-renowned penalty-killing unit, has killed both of the first two San Diego man advantage. Ball into the near corner. It's 5-on-5, even strength now. Brian Farber fighting with Cicluna for position. So he comes down into the corner, rolls along the goal wall, put it into the crease, and Wilkes was able to kick it out, a defender for Detroit. Now the loose ball comes along the bench wall. Here's Warte Sampson, who's out of the penalty box after serving the 6 fouls penalty. Sampson, the bull, comes down to the yellow line, tries to spin between two defenders. Bird's shot, a kick save, Swift into the corner. Riley Swift comes up with a kick save, and it's still a 2-1 game, Detroit in front. It's Martin to Farber on the far wall for San Diego. 13:30 clock running in the second quarter. Martin finds Zay Roberto. Zay on the far wall. Bending ball, looking for one. Eric chests it down. He put it wide to the right. A hot shot that came just wide of the right post. And it caroms all the way out to offensive midfield. It's Scotty Martin. Down low, Diego. Rovira into the corner. Double team. Kicks it along the bench wall to Wonderly. He crosses the field to Zay Roberto. One step in. His shot was blocked by Daracello. Into the crease. Childs tipped it back out. And it finds Zay now, who will walk it back outside the yellow line to Scotty Martin. Under 13 to go in the second quarter. Detroit 2, San Diego 1. Here's a high ball lofted for Childs. Chests it top of the crease. He was bumped from behind. No foul call. Craig is crying once again, looking for a foul. Martin comes off now. Sutton comes on for San Diego. Childs then slips at the yellow line. Again, no foul. Ball's taken away by DeQ. Costa DeQ will walk it back and spin a ball to Bird on the near wall. And now Detroit comes forward. Bird. His pass deflected by Zay Roberto. It went behind Craig Childs. Bird steps up on the loose ball. Comes across yellow line. Tipped away from him by Diego Rivera from behind. Diego finds Eric Wonderly. Here comes Wonderly on the run. Eric in midfield. Working his way between 3 Detroit players. Tips it on the far wall to Zay Roberto. Found a little space. Here comes Zay. Pulled from behind. And a foul called on Bird. Foul called on Aaron Bird. That's the right call. The team fouls have been reset. So the first team foul for Detroit now. San Diego sitting on a foul total of 3. 12:09 left in the second quarter. Free kick just inside the yellow line on right wing for Cheeky Luna. Cheeky steps up, tips it. It's Diego. Diego will feed midboards. Velez, high shot. That's going to reach the parking lot on one hop. It's not going to get to my car, though. There's a fence in the way. 12:05 to play. High ball forward. And a 3-line pass was just called on Detroit. That will set the ball at the Waza yellow line for a free kick for San Diego. 3-line pass called on Detroit Waza. Cheeky Luna. As Childs down low, Velez and Rivera buzzing around. Susie is on right wing. It's Luna. Luna shoots a bending ball, saved by Quinn. Quinn then protects the goal wall and picks up a loose ball. Rolls it up the middle of the field to Ryan Mack, who kicks it into his bench on the fly. A giveaway to San Diego. 11:53 to play in the second quarter. It's Eddie Velez to Anthony Medina. He's got the goal. He feeds Velez down low. Eddie wall pass, and he couldn't get a foot on it. A blue card has come out on Detroit. A blue card on Ryan Mack for boarding Eddie Velez. San Diego will go on the power play for the third time tonight. The the penalty is on Mack, or make it Gerba, pardon me. Gerba for a push. And a silly foul by Michael Gerba will give the Sockers, first things first, a free kick with a man advantage. This power play will begin at 11:45 of the second quarter. It'll count down either to 9:45 or a Sockers equalizer. Luna to Susi. He tipped it down to the goal wall to Childs. Couldn't get a foot on it. Brian Farber hit from behind in the crease. He went down. Ryan Gimping, he's back up. Now as Childs feeds Luna to Susi. Down low Childs. He turns, his shot was blocked by Wilkes. Wright gets a toe on it, out to Aaron Bird. And Bird escapes the zone shorthanded. A minute 39 remaining in the power play for San Diego. 11:22 on the second quarter game clock. Detroit leading the Sockers 2-1. It was 2-0 Detroit after 2 minutes of the first quarter. Sockers got one back. Now they're trying to tie it on the power play, their third chance. Velez Farber, his pass from the goal wall, intercepted by Quinn, trying to feed Childs for a setter on the back post. And the ball's thrown all the way down into the San Diego zone. It's Susi to Luna. Cheeky Luna across the yellow line. He shot it for the back post. It went over Farber's head. And then Velez's shot was kicked off the head of Cicluna over the glass. It'll be a corner kick for San Diego. Or they'll put a free kick right there on the mid-wall. 1:07 on the penalty. It's Childs turning half volley. He couldn't get the foot on it. Wilkes intercepted. He feeds Aaron Bird shorthanded on the run. Bird's coming out. Bird to the yellow line. He beats Susi into the corner. Bird to the goal wall. He tips it out, and there was nobody there for Detroit. Brian Farber was there to play center field for San Diego. Good shorthanded run by Aaron Bird. It's Velez to Cheeky Luna on the far wall. 10:30 to go in the game. Child, in the second quarter, I should say. Childs weaving in the top of the crease. Feeds Susi. His shot was blocked by a sliding Aaron Bird. Detroit is selling out defensively with their shot blocks tonight. Susi, bending ball. Childs, header, save Quinn. Great pass, Susi to Childs, and Quinn read it and made his best save of the game so far. 25 seconds left in the power play for San Diego. Detroit trying to kill off 3 first-half Sockers power plays. Luna to Susi. Susi's high shot off the frame. And it went in out of play. 16 seconds left on the power play, but a goal throw coming for Detroit, so they've got a good chance with a well-placed throw here to kill this power play. Quinn runs it to the top of his crease. He skips one low pass to Daracello, touches it to the far wall, does his job, knocks it into the corner. San Diego will have nothing but one more long run. Here comes Velez. 5 seconds on the power play. Velez offensive midfield. He's going to walk off the last 3 seconds. Velez cuts it inside to the left foot. He put a shot to the back post, tipped away, out to Luna, hard shot blocked. Back to Cheeky, his shot blocked again. 2 straight shot blocks by Detroit, both off the noggin. Oh my. And now Farber rolls it along the far wall. The power play is over. Eric Wonderly down the middle of the field. He cuts it to the right foot, and he's tipped out to the mid boards on the far wall. Wonderly down into the corner, battling with Tino Cicluna. Trying to come out, he's double teamed. Daracello is down there to spin it out. Daracello goes down. Foul on Wonderly. I believe their 4th team foul. 9:15 to go in the second quarter. Here's a long ball forward for Deku. Deku makes a run. Martin is there to greet him in the far corner for San Diego. Then Deku goes down. No harm, no foul. Mack comes out. His pass tipped away by Scotty Martin. Sockers on the run. Here they come. It's Wonderly. And it's a 3-0 now. Wonderly in. He tips it in. He gets knocked down. And no foul called. And now a whistle and a blue card. A delayed blue was out on Ryan Mack. What happened? It was a 3-on-1, and then Cicluna, or it was Stark, I should say, tripped on his own foot and fell down. The Sockers were coming in 3-0. And as they came, and Cicluna fell, there was nothing that Detroit could do. Mack touching down Wonderly from behind. Now the question is, will this be a shootout? And the answer is yes. No, and the answer is no. Craig Childs said it on the yellow line to say that it should be a shootout. The question is, where was the foul? If the foul's in the crease, it's a shootout. If the foul's out of the crease, it's a power play. I think the right call might be shootout, but first the officials are going to confer. Pena and Wiggins are going to come over, and the question is, was it in the crease or out? It was hard to tell if the foul was in the crease or out of the crease. Yeah. Let's see. They are going to place the ball at the yellow line. This is a shootout. This is a shootout for San Diego. The Sockers will have a shootout. It's a penalty kick after a foul in the crease. Craig Childs will take the shootout. Childs will have 5 seconds to beat Daryl Quinn one-on-one. Brad Wiggins will sound the whistle and keep the 5-second time. Fernando Pena, he will blow the whistle. Wiggins will keep the time. Childs scored on a shootout goal last night, had 2 goals. He had 46 in the regular season to set the PASL record. The Poway High and SDSU star, the 2-time PASL MVP. Can he equalize for San Diego now? Childs awaits the whistle from Fernando Pena. 8:58 on the clock. If Childs fails, there will be a San Diego power play. If he succeeds, the game will be tied. The whistle sounds. Here comes Childs. He tips to the right foot. He shoots it off the post. The rebound. Hang on. Childs was saying that he got interfered with by Quinn, but Childs hit it wide to the right. I believe they're going to give him a second chance. They're going to give him a second chance. Mack touched Childs. Because you get 5 seconds, and that's what Childs was just reminding Tino Cicluna. It's not just one shot, it's 5 seconds. Childs gets another chance. Now, fans, I know, and especially Detroit fans watching, I understand why you would be upset seeing this. But if you saw, after Craig took the first shot, he was going after the rebound, and he got interfered with by Mack, who stood in his way. You get 5 seconds to try and score. It's not one shot, it's 5 seconds. In fact, the goal for Craig earlier this year against Tijuana, where he missed the first shot and put home the second. And we talked about it in the post-game interview, how you get 5 seconds to shoot. He's going to get one more chance. Well, Detroit, if you think it's an unfair call, watching back in Michigan on 619sports.net, then Childs will miss. It'll be karma. The whistle sounds. Here's Childs. He tips. He rolls it in, and it came to the goal wall. He shoots. He missed. He missed. The shootout expires. Quinn holds to the crowd like you get a 0, and the crowd is booing Daryl Quinn for showing off to the crowd. Childs tipped it. He got Quinn down and out, but the ball came to the goal wall, and he was too sharp of an angle to score. Now, it'll be a power play for San Diego for the next 2 minutes. At the 8:58 mark, a power play begins with a goal throw. It is Wiltz at midfield, lost it to Scotty Martin and back to Riley Swift. This power play began at 8:58. It'll count down either to 6:58 or to a Sockers goal to tie the game at San Diego. Missing on a shootout and 0 for 3 already on power plays, but this is their 4th chance in the first half. Here's Cheeky Luna, down low to Rivera. Diego, back to Cheeky on right wing. He finds Susie straight away. Aaron looks, left wing mid-boards, it's Velez. Down low, Childs tips it back to Eddie. Eddie crosses back to Susie. Susie down low, fouls with the outside of the right foot, rolls it to Velez. Velez back to Susie straight away. He cuts it to the right wall. It's Cheeky down low. Rivera, good passing, no shots yet. Wall pass to Luna. Back to Susie coming in. He scores! Aaron Susie has the goal! And he imitates and puts up the score. He imitates Quinn. And so do the rest of the Sockers. They have tied it on a power play goal. Susie from Luna, and it's tied 2-2. Timeout, Detroit, Waza Flow. They're going to talk this one over. San Diego ties it. This is a fired up team. Let's take a timeout on ESPN Radio 1700. We're tied at 2.
Season NBA games for the rest of the season, wherever you are, on your TV, computer, or mobile device, all for $89. Call Cox at 1-888-SPORTS-IN or come by a Cox Solution store and subscribe today.
The San Diego Sockers on ESPN Radio 1700 are brought to you by RSI Roofing. When you think roofing, think RSI.com. UC San Diego Sports Medicine. And by Boni Acai, the best acai from Brazil to the world.
Sockers captain Aaron Susi has tied the game 2-2 with an absolute rocket shot. The 15-year indoor veteran bent a ball into the right side netting. He kicked it so hard, it literally lodged in the net. And then he turned around and he matched the mocking motion that Waza keeper Daryl Quinn had shown to the Sockers home crowd after stopping the Child's shootout. San Diego converts their first power play in 4 tries. And now after the Waza timeout, a restart at midfield. 8 minutes to play before halftime. We are tied 2-2 in the Ron Newman Cup Championship Final. The winner will be PASL champion Ryan Mack's shot, rebound, and it's wide to the left. 2 shots by Detroit. Mack's shot saved by Swift. The rebound came out to Birdie, shot it wide to the left. Here they come on the run the other way. Roberto to Craig Childs. Childs crosses to Hetherington. He shot a save, Quinn! Quinn with a big save. And then Hetherington called for a foul along the goal wall, fouling Ryan Mack. That'll be the 5th foul, I believe, on San Diego. 7:38 to play in the second quarter. Costa Deku will free kick from his defensive zone. He fires one forward. Zay Roberto takes it away from Warte Sampson. Plays it to Riley Swift. Swift to Medina. Waza showing high pressure now. A full court press up and down the field. Craig Childs heads one. It actually came in on goal, and Quinn was able to touch it down with a foot. An easy stop to Costa Deku. Deku back to the keeper, Quinn. 7:15 to play in the second quarter. We're tied 2-2. Winner is the champion of the Professional Arena Soccer League and will hoist the Ron Newman Cup later tonight at midfield. Roberto down in a heap. Deku fouls him. Costa Deku spilled Zay Roberto in the Sockers' near defensive corner. Back to Antonio Sutton. Sutton to Susi up front. Aaron turns on the midboards. He spins, he fakes. He's guarded by Stark. He tried to feed Medina on the far post. The pass Karen back out to midfield to Zé Roberto. 6:45 to go before halftime. It's Swift into the near corner for Medina. Anthony tracks it down, but Tino Cicluna, good defense, keeping M5 away from the ball. Quinn reads it, plays it off the goal wall, throws it out to Wilkes, gets it back. Now it's San Diego on high pressure. Brian Farber at the top of that defensive formation. 6:30 clock running in the second quarter. It's a 2-2 tie. Bird. He finds Otieno. Good job by Swift and Roberto there. As Victor Otieno tried to turn to the top of the crease, Roberto kept him off the ball, and Riley dove out to grab it with 2 hands in his crease. Here's Riley on the far wall to Anthony Medina. Medina turning. He got taken down. There's another foul on Daracello. That's 3 on Waza Flow now. Sockers are sitting on 5 team fouls. They're 1 away from a power play. Here's Velez in the crease. Childs tips it out right wing. Medina shoots there, and it's off the crossbar high, just off the frame and crossbar. Dan Antoniuk runs it down for San Diego. Dan, the longtime indoor vet that was an all-PASL defender each of the first 2 years of the Sockers. High ball into the crease. Quinn jumped up and grabbed it. The 6'3 goalkeeper got up high. Daracello and Bird lost the ball to Velez. Eddie plays it on the far wall, comes into the zone. He's got Farber straight away. Fakes again, comes into the corner. Eddie's shot is saved by Quinn, protecting the near post. Wonderly! Rebound goal! Sockers lead 3-2! Wendy! And Eric took off his jersey. Outdoor style. Eric Wonderly has put the Sockers in front. Give Eddie Velez the assist. A wonderful goal for Eric. Wendy's first of the playoffs. It puts San Diego on top at the 5:36 mark, and now it's the fans showing Quinn the O. Oh, all the fans are showing it. Wendy scores it, and San Diego's on top. The Sox have scored 3 straight, but off the restart, it's Mack. He rolled one across the goal mouth of San Diego. Comes back across. Oh, and Mack couldn't get a touch on it. Detroit was trying to answer right back with a quick attack off of the restart. It's out to Quinn now. the keeper of Detroit, chips it into the attacking zone. Martin fighting with Dominic Cicluna, the co-coach and midfielder. Cicluna fakes right, comes in. To the corner he goes. He puts it off the goal wall, and there's Riley Swift to read the angle. He's throwing it out on the run to Craig Childs, and the pass just a little too hot. Quinn kicks it back into the zone on one hop to Riley Swift. Riley will throw it to Cheeky Luna in midfield. Under 5 to play with the Sockers leading at 3-2. It's Luna straight away. Luna had it tipped away from him by Mack. Here they come the other way. It's Ryan Mack to the far wall. Ball behind Costa Deku, and Mack is tired. He needs to come off the field. He and Cicluna come off. Daracello and Bird come on for Detroit. 4:38 in the second quarter. It's Deku. Deku chips it into the far corner. Daracello runs down to find it. He shoots it back out to Scotty Wright. Wright, the defender, to Bird along offensive midfield. His pass was headed by Luna, but Detroit is able to maintain. Now on pressure, Childs. Wright under pressure, shoots it to Wilkes. Here comes Rivera challenging. Now Quinn is under pressure in the goal. And he feeds Wright. Oh, a nice ball. Scotty Wright coming forward with Otieno. To Otieno. He shoots it off the crossbar. A sudden counterattack developed for Detroit there on a beautiful feed by Quinn to Wright. Wright hit Otieno, and Otieno couldn't put it on goal. He hit the crossbar. Under 4 to play in the second quarter. Sockers leading Detroit 3-2 in the Ron Newman Cup Championship. It's Daracello to Otieno. He shoots and pinning it against the goal wall as Riley Swift. And then from the ground, Daracello trying to trip up Eddie Velez. No harm, no foul, no blood, no ambulance. They'll play on. 3:40 to go before halftime. It's Martin to Nate Hetherington. Hetherington chips it across the yellow line. Medina wins it, comes down. Anthony Medina, he scores! M5's done it again! Medina puts the Sockers ahead, 4-2. Four in a row, San Diego, M5, what do you know? Medina's third of the playoffs from San Roberto. You see it again as he went up the glass to celebrate. .329, time of goal, restart. The Sockers have answered the early Detroit tallies with 4 in a row. Yeah, off the restart. Dominic Cicluna in the near corner on the attack. He gets a ball back. He shoots a bicycle kick into the corner. Flying in, Gerba over the back of Sutton. And a foul called on Gerba. And then Sutton not attacking him, but standing over him and pointing at Michael Gerba, who came flying in the air over the back of Antonio Sutton. Now Cicluna is challenging Sutton in the crease. Hot tempers on the field at the Del Mar Arena, and the players need to be separated. Antonio Sutton is a classy veteran, and he wasn't going to jump up and do something crazy, but he was furious and thought maybe a blue card should have been handed out. And you did see on the replay, Gerba went right over the back of Antonio and jumped up in the air and unnecessarily. The officials are going to pull together in the officials' box. There's 3:07 left to play in the second quarter. San Diego with a 4-2 lead. Goals by Susi, Wonderly, and Medina in this quarter for San Diego. The Sockers trailed 2-0 and in the first 2 minutes. And San Diego has come back to establish a 2-goal lead. A bench warning has just been issued to Detroit Waza. And it looks like at the end of all of this, nobody's in the box, which I think is probably the right call. And the Sockers will just free kick from their goal wall. It's San Roberto. Zay will cross it to Riley Swift. He accepts the pass on the floor. Sutton, diagonal crossing pass back to Zay. And that's how the Sockers will get out of their goal wall. Roberto, long ball forward. Off of the Detroit goal glass. Headed by Deku back to his keeper, Quinn. Keeping Aaron Susi out of the play. Quinn throws it forward to Orte Sampson. Sampson gets it inside the yellow line. Here comes Sampson. And he was bracketed. Now called on Brian Farber right there. I believe that's 6 on San Diego. Oh, it's 5. It's 5 on San Diego right now. All right, so that's the official foul count. Our PA man, Nick Pellegrino, had the unofficial foul count. The official is 5 now on San Diego. Free kick, Deku for Detroit. Deku tips it down low. Aaron Bird, and hit from behind by Susie. A hard check in the corner. No foul there. Farber scoops Deku. Here he comes. Heads it on goal. He shoots off the left post. Oh, my goodness, what a play by Farber. He scooped a man over his back, then headed it shot it off the right post low. Still 4-2, San Diego leads. Under 2.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. It's Rivera in front of the Sockers bench. Diego Rivera out of St. Mary's College. Diego trying to fight through Ryan Mack. He does. He comes into the corner. He shoots a kick save, Quinn. Quinn stuck out the left leg. Shot blocked by Bird into the corner. Eric tracks it down into the far corner. He spins out of room. He comes in on the left foot. He tipped it to Sutton in open space. Antonio! Shot blocked by Deku. Deku blocked it into the corner for Detroit to deny Sutton a 5th goal. Quinn was out of the play. Sutton comes off. Dan Antonio comes on. 1:45 to go before halftime. San Diego leading 4-2. Antonio to Eric Wonderly on the far wall. Eric surveys offensive midfield. He rolls it off the goal wall to Rivera. Diego tracks it down in the near corner. Diego tips it back midboards to Antoniuk. Dan out to Wonderly. 90 seconds to play before halftime. Eric to Zay on the far wall. Zay chips it. Now in the crease. Diego turned it off the goal wall trying to kick it to himself. Still controls. Plays a sidewall pass to Roberto. Touches it out to Dan Antoniuk. Antoniuk faked the shot. Rolled it to the far wall back to Zay. 1:10 to go in the second quarter. It's Antoniuk offensive midfield. He feeds Craig Childs. Childs out to Zay. He miskicked it, and it was chunked into the corner with 60 seconds left to play. Deku to Ryan Mack. And Mack will fire a long ball into the Detroit zone. Antoniuk walls off Sampson. Kicks it to the far wall. Bird and Rivera collide there. The ball hops out to midfield. Kosta Deku comes out with it with 45 seconds. Deku dives, lost the ball. Sockers have it. It's Roberto to Childs. Childs right wing. He shoots. He scores! Craig Childs does it again. The Sox have scored 5 straight. And Zay Roberto's got his 3rd assist of the half. It's 5-2 Sockers. Craig Childs just kicked the autographed ball and it hit a rafter. And now he's going to throw it short instead to a young girl in the crowd. 37 seconds, the time of goal. A 4-0 second quarter for San Diego. Off the restart. It's Wilkes to Otieno outside the yellow line. He scoops one. Nice pass. Tino Cicluna. Wall ball out to the left wing. Nobody there for Detroit. It hops over the glass. Last touch by Susie. Detroit will free kick there from just inside the yellow line on the far wall. 23.9 seconds to play before halftime. It's Daracello. He rolls it out to Wilkes. Wilkes back to Mickey Daracello. First team All-League with 26 goals, 21 assists. Flip that, 21 goals, 26 assists. It's Otieno. He fights with Velez for possession with 10 seconds. The ball's down deep in the Sockers corner, and it whistled through the goal mouth. Nobody there. Now Tina Cicluna. His shot blocked by Martin. Bird steps on it. Back Cicluna shoots. Save Swift as the horn sounds. A hot shot toward the Sockers goal, and Riley grabbed it with 2 hands as the half is over. 30 minutes expired, 30 to play, and the Sockers lead at 5-2. Let's go down on the field. Jordan Caruth now with head coach Phil Salvaggio.
Thanks, Craig. Going into the half here, Phil, 5-2, 5 goals unanswered. What does it say about your guys' team starting down 2-0 and being able to work back to a 5-2 lead at the half?
Hey, this is the playoffs. Anything can happen. You know, you don't never know if you're going to be up by 5 or down by 2. You know, they're both getting, this game is way from over, so we got a lot of work to do in the second half.
Are you happy with how physical this game's being played?
Yeah, I think it's an excellent game. Both sides are playing hard and physical. You know, we got a lot of blue cards where we could take advantage of them early, but now we're starting to get our momentum. Hopefully we can keep this up the whole second half.
What are you going to tell the guys at the half?
We got to stick to the game plan because we've shut down Deku, who's an excellent player. We're marking him man on man, and we're doing a good job at that. As long as we start sticking to our game plan, then we're good.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Jordan Caruth with Sockers head coach Phil Salvaggio, the two-time Coach of the Year. It's halftime at the Del Mar Arena, and the Sockers gave up the first 2 goals of the game and then scored 5 straight to get into the half with a 5-2 lead over Detroit Waza Flow FC. We'll take a halftime timeout here on ESPN Radio 1700. And on 619sports.net, we'll bring you a series of halftime videos. While on ESPN Radio 1700, we are hoping to catch up with PASL Commissioner Kevin Milliken. All of that to come here. We are at the half at the Del Mar Arena in the championship game of the Ron Newman Cup. And it's the Sockers leading Detroit Waza 5-2 on ESPN Radio 1700.